In 3, 2, 1. What's happening, YouTube? You know what it is. You're in the building. Lamont Tyson, living legend Larry, and we here rocking with y'all the night before Thanksgiving. Not the night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving. And all through the house, not a stomach was full, not even that of a mouse. And we're all waiting to eat so we can sing with glee. The itis has took over, and I'm throwing up from my tummy. That's the Thanksgiving creed we're going to be talking about tonight, along with a whole lot of other stuff we're going to cover on this night. Living legend Larry, how you feeling?
Man, it sounded to me like you were channeling Dolomite there.
Hey, man, I can get like that, but I choose not to give y'all everything every single night. Got to keep you coming back for more.
Oh man, that's great. Man, I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, just getting ready for tomorrow, drinking my tea.
Man, you stop
working on.
There ain't no tea in that cup, man. There ain't no tea.
It is, man.
Everybody know how you get down on this channel, Larry. You done told everybody all your secrets.
See? Look, hold on. Let me get this in focus. See? It's Wegmans tea.
Spiced with what? Rum?
Nah, man. I just naturally wild out.
Wow.
You don't even want to see me when I'm really wilding out.
No, I don't think we can handle that. I mean, YouTube already dragging people off the airways, so we won't do that.
Man,
let me shout out the people, Larry, because we've got some fellas that's kicking it with us. Look like it's going to be nothing but the fellas tonight. Mike Willie, DeAndre, Matt. Good to see you, Matt. Chris P in the building. Mark Guy, Tim, my brother Tim. What's up, brother? Thank you for always commenting on our videos, liking our videos, and sharing with us. Mark Guy, we've got a lot of stuff we're going to cover. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, but we are going to be covering some damn gossip. Gossip that is only subjective gossip. The person that said what they said should have kept their mouth closed, because I done heard bad things about they box too. But we'll get there in a minute.
Ooh.
We'll get there in a minute. So having said
we
that,
have one woman in the house.
Okay. Glad to have you, Mary A. Ladarius Jackson. What it do? Well, let's get into it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. If you're traveling, be safe. You're listening to us on the highway. Don't laugh so hard you crash in a ditch, because I want y'all to go in there.
Jackson.
Yeah,
that has to be the whitest name I've ever heard. His brother must be named Brad.
Are you serious? Ladarius Jackson White, bro.
Man, that if he is not a brother, I don't know who is.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. Yeah, that's a brother up in this joint. So Larry,
with a name like that, that's like when the revolution kicks off and you don't know where to go and you see a dude's mailbox and his name is Ladarius, you're like, this is a safe house.
Hell, all I need to see is Jackson. As long as Jackson is the last name and not the first name, I already know I'm amongst friends. There
you go. Maybe I don't know, because there might be some descendants of Andrew Jackson out there, and then you don't know what you're gonna get.
You got that right. But ladies and gentlemen,
D'Angelo in Washington kicking it strong tonight, man. Yep. Do you see that?
I see it, man. I see it. My God, bro. Hey, look. D'Angelo, I appreciate you. Soon as we get done with promoting this channel, I'm going to show you some love. I'm going to give you something funny to look at. But for those of you that don't know, I do have a shop, Life Game Store. You can get all these Black Hero t-shirts. I would encourage you all to go in there and get some. Any proceeds I make, I do share them with Larry in my own way. So be sure to go in there and pop us something. And don't forget about this Georgia GA race. Go to gasenate.com and make a contribution to them so we can get a balanced government back in place after suffering for all these years of Mitch McConnell. And for you, my brother, that gave that wonderful tip, and Buzz too, I'm going to combine y'all with one video, and I thank you guys for showing us so much love. So I'm gonna give you guys this one because Larry likes it too. It makes Larry laugh.
Man, we can't separate. We can't put them in one video because somebody else we could, but we can't lump 703 in with other people. Buzz 703 has been coming strong, man. We have to give him his own joint.
Okay, well, we'll do them back to back. This one right here is for my man that dropped the 20 note. Take a look at this. Larry loves this, and it's perfect timing for Thanksgiving.
Not dessert this type of carrot though. What's she gonna do that look? Got a little potato. She trying to stir it up. Balls deep on y'all. Ah, no, girl, we is lactose. We all need all that cheese. Carrot. Just Uber Eats me. She's gonna try, look at her. She gonna cross her legs like it's on the motherboard at church. Girl, that shit ain't innocent. You done raped the whole turkey. Melted butter. Baked for 4 hours. Oh, look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know nobody watching this channel is going to have a Thanksgiving turkey that looked like that. Big homie, I appreciate you for that one. And this one right here is for you, my brother Buzz. My brother Buzz.
Guess whose turn it is? White people. Let's see what direction they go in. Halle Berry is still available, as is Mariah Carey's crazy ass.
I always wanted to say this. For shizzle.
We, the Jewish people, take Lenny Kravitz.
The Chinese delegation pulling a fast one and choosing the entire Wu-Tang Clan. Brooklyn!
Buzz, I appreciate you.
703.
You choose the entire Life Games clan and you do it faithfully 3 nights a week. And so,
man,
D'Angelo's
coming strong. He's like, man, you're gonna have to give me my funny video.
Oh my God, D'Angelo, brother, we never gonna be able to get into the show. Okay, I got one more for you, D'Angelo. I got one more for you. This one is funny too. Take a look.
You don't think I can write them books? Just because I'm blind don't mean I'm dumb.
How could this have happened? A black white supremacist.
Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face? Clayton, go on, brother.
He was the only Negro we'd ever had around here. So we figured we'd make it easier on Clayton by just telling him and all the other blind kids that he was white.
Don't be afraid.
That woman couldn't handle it. She had to throw up on herself. It was terrible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a great pivoting point because Dave Chappelle is one of the subjects tonight. So, Buzz, you get a number 1 through 6, and my folk D'Angelo, you get a number 1 through 6, and we will start out with Larry. Pick a number 1 through 6.
We have to give Ladarius one. We have to give him a number. I mean, this brother has the blackest name on the stream right now. So
Ladarius, you get a number.
That's saying something.
You get a number, Ladarius. Larry, you pick your number first.
All right, I'm gonna go with lucky number. What are we going to 1 through what?
1 through 6.
1 through 6. I'm gonna go with lucky number 6. Yeah, let's do 6.
Okay.
Woo! D'Angelo Jackson's coming strong with it again, man.
D'Angelo, man.
He's gonna make your job easy tonight.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm gonna give this one for you. Then we're gonna have to get on with.
Just talk about practice. We sitting here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
See, that's what I'm talking about, D'Angelo. That's what I'm talking about. Lamont's talking about getting at these numbers, and you're talking about super chats. That's what I'm talking. Super chats. You want to talk about numbers? Yeah, numbers? Yeah. We're talking about super chats.
Hey, I appreciate
super
it, man.
Chats. We're not talking about numbers. We're talking about super chats.
Larry, I'm about to get in trouble, Larry. I'm about to get in trouble. My folk Buzz said, where the women at tonight? And so far, we've only seen one woman. And Buzz, maybe it's a good thing that we don't see the women because it might mean they cooking, getting ready for tomorrow.
Oh, here you go.
Anyway,
Here you go, man. You just causing problems.
so Larry
Just causing problems.
Yeah,
Man.
let me hurry up and dive on out of it. Larry Pitt, lucky number 6. And for the story we got for number 6, D'Angelo, we appreciate you too, big homie. Stick with us.
Let me ask, since you brought up the whole thing about women and their cooking, are the best cooks men or women? Or should I say, are the best chefs men or women?
Could be both. Could be both.
It can't be both. It's got to be one or the other.
Man, that's subjective to whatever your experiences is. My experiences are the best. Some of these people weren't chefs. They were just cooks. They just cooked.
Right.
And their food tasted way better than the chefs. And I'm talking about females that have cooked. Their food was better than some professional chef's food that I have eaten. So I guess it's just subjective to the individual. And Ladarius, you took number 5. So we got Larry at 6, Ladarius at 5, and we got Buzz at 3. And Larry, this is your story right here. And I think you'll be pleased with this one because let me see, where is it? It's right here. You know who this guy is?
White Panther?
Hell no. Hell no.
Oh, he looks like Daredevil.
That is Netflix Daredevil. And guess what, Larry? There is a huge petition and chance that it might come out on Disney Plus. So here it is. The campaign, the campaign to save Daredevil series after Netflix cancellation has geared up for a final push as the rights revert back to Marvel. In the 2 years since Netflix canceled Daredevil, fans have campaigned for the series to be revived by the streaming service, as well as trying to prove to Marvel Studios that the character deserves a second chance. The mature edge that the series brought to Daredevil matched the tone of some of the heroes' adventures from the comics, and it really struck a chord with the audience. Larry, you don't even have to ask me twice. Because of the popularity of that series on Netflix, along with Luke Cage, I can tell you right now, and along with the numbers that Disney is doing with their promotion of Disney Plus, I can tell you, and when we predict things on this channel, they happen, that will be on Disney Plus within 2 years. Make your case if it will or won't be, Larry.
No, I think it's going to be on there, but I'll tell you, I really want to see them bring back all of them. I want to see them bring back Daredevil. I want to see them bring back Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, even old Iron Fist. I want to see him bring him back too. I want to kind of say bring back Punisher, but I feel like he never really left. I mean, Punisher's always sort of around in one incarnation or another. He's always there. But even then, I want to see the whole Neighborhood Marvel crew back, you know?
Man,
I want to see them all back. I mean, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage were two of the best. Those, I mean, I can't even imagine. I was so surprised when they canceled both of those. I was like, if they're canceling this, I don't even know what people want to watch. I just don't get it, because those were two of the best shows that were on there. Man, they were fantastic.
They are going to get a show on Marvel. I mean, all these rights are going back to Marvel, and the more popular they make Disney Plus, the more the stock is going to go up. And for those of you that don't know, me and Larry are into the stock market. I'm into real estate. And Disney, since they announced their last quarter numbers, that stock has been taken off on the strength of what they've done on Disney Plus. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it's a done deal. You just got to be patient and wait.
And Louisiana boy James says they did Danny Rand dirty.
They did,
boy. They did Danny Rand's character dirty on the TV version, boy. They did him wrong.
They screwed him over. But ladies and gentlemen, just be patient. Those characters were way too popular on Netflix for Marvel not to exploit it. They will be on the streaming service. Punisher, I hear, is going to be in one of the new Marvel movies that's coming up. So just sit tight. All right.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Larry.
Is he gonna be the same Punisher?
Yeah. I like that guy. You know,
I like him too.
He was on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I like him. He's gonna be he makes a perfect Punisher, and I can't wait. All right.
Yeah.
Moving right along, we on to Buzz's number, who picked number 3. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to this channel. Be sure to subscribe to Larry's channel. Check us out. We are a different breed. This brother right here was in the news this week, Larry.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's a good thing though. It ain't a bad thing. It's a good thing. He was in the news and he flexed his muscle. So let me read to you what happened. So y'all know Dave Chappelle had the Chappelle Show on Comedy Central, which is owned by Viacom CBS, right?
Chappelle Show.
He signed the contract and then he walked away and they had the rights to his show. Well, little did we know they took those rights and they was kind of subleasing them out to other people. That's how Netflix got it. All right. So what did Dave Chappelle do? Dave Chappelle was frustrated because they didn't break him any extra bread for subleasing to Netflix. So Dave Chappelle got on his Instagram yesterday and basically told fans to not watch his show until he get his coins. And because of the outstanding relationship that Netflix has with Dave Chappelle, you know what Netflix did, Larry?
They pulled it.
They pulled it. And the reason why they pulled it is because they have such a great working relationship with Dave Chappelle. He's doing stand-up. And when they pulled it for him, you know, him and Netflix dropped a statement saying that there's continuity with the two. They love Dave. Dave loves them for being a disruptor. Larry, how do you feel about Dave Chappelle coming out telling fans to first strike and then flexing his muscle with his new partner, Netflix, to get the thing removed until somebody give him some extra money?
I'll be honest with you, man. I have mixed feelings about it.
I kind of do too, because he was under contract. But
I mean, I get it, because you had a lot of these big media conglomerates that are out there and they're taking advantage of these artists. They have been for decades, and they still do. And it's shameful when that happens. But at the same time, Comedy Central and them made Dave Chappelle a very, very, very rich man with those contracts. They were not they were very lopsided. I'm not going to say they were one-sided, because it's not like Dave Chappelle left there and didn't have any money. He did. And when he left his contract with them, they were offering him even more money, but it was a very lopsided deal. And I get where he's upset that he's not going to get anything. I can't believe that he's not getting any sort of residuals off of that show. That's just crazy. His contract must have been worse than TLC's or something. I mean, that's just crazy.
Well, I remember the contract like it was yesterday, before Dave Chappelle flipped out and went to Africa butt naked. They paid the man $50 million. Now, and all that was upfront money. Having said that, even though, you know, we have this whole we should honor contracts and all that, I look at what Dave Chappelle did. No different, Larry, from what NFL players do. Owners in the NFL oftentimes come to a player who they've overpaid and ask them to renegotiate their contracts if they're not living up to what those owners want. Okay. And when Viacom starts subleasing the Dave Chappelle Show to all these networks, here's another one that made Dave Chappelle mad. He talked about it. They also subleased it to HBO. And you know,
they licensed it.
Licensed HBO.
It was a licensing deal, yeah.
They made Dave Chappelle upset because, Larry, when Dave Chappelle came up with the Dave Chappelle Show, guess who was the first people he went to?
Yeah, HBO, and they shut him down and said no.
They said no.
Yeah.
And so I kind of look at this kind of like, okay, if you have a partner and that partner didn't know that you felt salty about an old deal, and that new partner is looking at, okay, we're making great headway with Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle has the pull to say, look, they didn't pay me. Y'all can pay me if you want to, but if not, pull it. I ain't got no problem with that, because what can Viacom do? So Viacom exercised their contract to do what they legally could do, which is put it anywhere they want to. And Dave Chappelle exercised his right to say fans boycott it. But not only did him telling fans to boycott it got an action done, it also got it removed by his new partner, which is Netflix. So I'm perfectly comfortable with it.
All right, here's a couple things that I think are a little bit janky on everyone's side. One, I understand the emotional reaction he has about not wanting his content on HBO after HBO shut him down and didn't give him the deal. I get his feelings on that.
Right.
And part of me as a fan of the show would like to say I probably would have loved to have seen that show on HBO, because as
it's still going to be on,
hitting as it was, as edgy as that show was on Comedy Central. If that show was on HBO, my God, the he may have kept going. All the boundaries and all the lines he could have pushed through that he had to sort of pull back on because it was on regular cable and not on, premium cable like HBO. HBO, he probably would have had a lot more freedom.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this before you go on, because this is a very important point. Before he dropped this thing on Instagram last night, he talked with Netflix about doing a new Dave Chappelle show, which they're going to give him free range to do, but he won't be able to call it the Chappelle Show. So when you have a partner who's not only saying, okay, Dave, we're not going to pay you, but we will let you have another show that you can do with us, I got no bones with it.
Yeah. Now here's another issue that I have with this is that Netflix, they are his current partner. It still seems a little shady that they made that licensing deal and put the show out there, and then Dave Chappelle had to come back and say, hey, because he went directly to the programming people and asked them not to put the show on after they had already put it on. And I guess, but my thought is this: if this is one of your premier content producers, one of the top people that you're working with, why would you not go to him first and say, hey, we're about to make a licensing deal for the old Chappelle show, and we just want you to know? Why would you not do, like, if I'm the VP of programming or acquisitions, and I didn't reach out to Chappelle's people and say, hey, we're about to license your old show, I just want to give you a heads up and see what the response is. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not acting responsibly to my corporation, because you have to assume that there might be some feelings behind there. And I'm pretty much at this point, I can pretty much guarantee that Netflix wasted probably, $8-10 million by licensing that show, and now they can't air it. Know?
I feel like this: the fact that they're going to let him do his own new show with a new name shows that if they made the mistake that you just mentioned, it shows that they're trying to show him good faith, that they want to ride this marriage of him and comedy and his genius of comedy together. So
and maybe that was part of the plan. Maybe they figured, okay, we'll license the show, we'll put it out there, and if he comes and says anything about it, then we'll just say we'll pull it, but we would rather have you do it than not just pull it. We want to still give the fans a Chappelle show. So how about we make a deal for a new show? Maybe that was all part of their plan. I don't know.
It could have been. It could have been.
But now here's the other problem that I have with this, right?
Okay.
Is that these companies, as janky as some of these contracts are, these media companies put up a crap ton of money to make sure that these artists can produce content the way they want to produce it, and I say the way they want to produce it, I'm talking about with the production values, with the marketing, with the distribution that they need so these shows can be successful. And these shows, and so when you have a company putting up all this money, because when I went to school for film, I went and got a master's in film and video production. And one thing that we learned is when you're doing a TV program, a TV show, and I'm talking about like an episodic TV show, those shows cost anywhere between like $2 and $4 million an episode. It's like a movie budget. It's like a small movie budget for each and every episode. And so if you're talking about filming 12 episodes of the Dave Chappelle show, and it's going to cost you, let's say $3 million an episode, that's $36 million just in production costs. And now you still have to probably spend, the same or twice that on marketing. and making sure that you have your product in all these, in not just in marketing, but you have to make sure you actually have your product out there in different markets. So hopefully they were able to get some licensing deals for that. But it's expensive to produce a television show. And that's one of the reasons why these companies will say, okay, yeah, we're going to put up the money up front. You're going to get paid a lot of money, but we're also going to own the rights to this show because we're paying for it. And so we're going to be able then to turn around and we're going to be able to license this show to the CW channel or to Netflix or to HBO Max or some other network in Norway or Japan or wherever else. And we're going to put the show in syndication after a certain amount of episodes. And that's how most television programs make their money. Most television programs don't make enough money just on advertisement alone to justify the cost of the show. Most of them make their money in the ancillary markets like syndication, like DVDs, like video on demand, all that stuff. So it's sort of, I understand how he feels not feeling like, well, I'm not getting any more money out of it. But at the same time, the company put up all that money up front so he can produce the show. And he wouldn't be in the position that he's in now if they didn't do that. If they didn't put up the money for that show, so that show can be a success, he would not be as big as he is now. So I think it's a bit unfair to tell these companies now, no, you can't benefit off the contracts that I signed, even though I signed them. Well, I'm not really cool with that. And I just think moving forward, what he should do is just sign better contracts.
Well, even if he did sign, let's just say he did sign the contract, and because I've been in this situation before, and I've actually flexed my muscle in the same way Dave Chappelle did. You sign a contract that takes you from broke to you got some money. But what you don't know, that the corporation knows, they're banking on whatever they're paying you, they're probably going to get 4 times that amount. I concede with Dave Chappelle because I went back to the negotiating table with the people I did my contract with. And I said, look, this thing went way better than what y'all thought. Y'all paying me XYZ zeros, but y'all getting 3 extra zeros that I ain't getting. I would like to renegotiate this contract. You know what they told me, Larry? They said, H to the no, get out of our office. I said, okay, you don't want to renegotiate. Not only will I leave, you don't have a no-compete clause, and I will tell people the reason I left was because you didn't want to renegotiate my contract. Within a week, they called me back and said, let's renegotiate. And I said, nope. I done seen how much y'all making off of me. Y'all giving me table scraps up front. I didn't know that this much money was coming on the back end. Y'all, unless y'all going to give me every penny of this, I'm going. I'm starting my own company, and there's nothing you can do about it. All Dave Chappelle said was, Viacom, give me some more money, or I'm going to tell Netflix not to have fans watch it, which he's in his right to do. If anything, if Viacom wants to be upset, they should be upset with Netflix, shouldn't they? How can you get mad with Dave Chappelle?
I don't know if he has the right to tell fans not to watch it because I don't know what kind of clauses are in that contract. Sometimes there are clauses in those contracts where the artists are not allowed to tell people not to watch. And there have been
but don't you think that if that was the case, he would not have said it, or we will soon see some lawsuits coming his way from Viacom?
I don't know, because here's the thing. There are certain times where people will say, we're going to let this go because we have hopes of being able to work with him again one day.
Exactly.
Or we have hopes of being able to use his content and, you know, his future content and, you know, one day. So we don't want to poison the well. So we're just going to let that go. Right. But at the same time, I sincerely believe it's unfair to expect these media companies to put up all this money. And this is the thing that gets me, is that people get really mad at these companies. These guys make so much money and they don't pay the artist anything, and the artists are getting screwed and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes that is absolutely true. Some of these artists are truly getting screwed over with bad contracts. But at the same time, you have to allow people who are putting money up front to profit off the work that they are financing. Because if they can't, they simply won't do it. If there's no financial incentive for companies to to pay for comedians to make their shows, or for rappers to make their albums, or for singers to make their albums, or go on concert tours. If there's no money in for it from the companies, they just simply won't finance it. And then you won't have the great art. You won't have that stuff to enjoy because the people just won't have the means to put it out. Or maybe they'll make the great art, but you'll never hear about it because they won't have the money to market it, and it just won't get out there. So, I mean, it's you have to, it's like one of those things. Like if I pay a great architect to come and build me a hotel, and he comes and he builds the hotel, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a hotel. It's going to be great because people will be able to sleep here, and it's in a prime location. Well, if it turns out that the location happens to be the least of the reasons why people come, everybody comes because the architecture is so beautiful. It's so revolutionary that no one has seen anything like it before, and that's why people are coming. Well, that architect can't come back to me after he realizes why people are coming and saying, hey, my hotel is so beautiful that I designed that you should pay me more money. Then I have to tell him, no, it's not your hotel. It's my hotel. I paid you to do a job and you did it excellent and I appreciate it. But what you should do is just simply say, I'm going to use this as a marketing tool to pay so that when the next person who goes to hire me is not going to end up paying me $1 million, they're going to have to pay me $12 million. That's what you should take that as. But you shouldn't sit around and say, get on social media and tell people, don't stay at this hotel. I designed this. What you're going to see is my art, my beauty, my design, and he's not paying me more money, so you shouldn't use it. What you should just say is, okay, maybe I undervalued my work. Maybe I undervalued myself, and now I've learned that lesson, and I'm moving on.
Man, the hell on that. I disagree with you on that one. If my work was undervalued and I went back to you to say, hey, pay me my coins and let's let bygones be bygones, maybe we can have a relationship together. And you say no, only thing I can do is say, look, you know what? I'm just going to tell my fans not to watch. And you can't stop him from doing that. Simple as that. And
they might. That's what I'm saying. They might be able to. I don't know what's in his contract. There are people do put stuff in contracts that tell fans that say they cannot tell people to watch movies. And there have been instances out there where actors have been in movies. They didn't like the final movie. They didn't like the way it turned out. And they told people, oh, this movie's garbage. I wouldn't go see it. I think it's terrible. And they have gotten sued and they have lost because their contracts clearly state you cannot badmouth the movie. You will promote it according to whatever their marketing and promotion guidelines state in that contract, and they can't talk bad about it. Now, I don't know how long that lasts, if it's something that goes on in perpetuity or if it's something that's good for just a period of time. I don't know. But I'm
we're
sure
going to find out. I guess
we're going to find out, because I can guarantee you that if he keeps on talking bad and telling people not to watch it, there's probably already lawyers scouring those contracts looking for ways to say, hey, you can't do this. And the company Viacom or whoever owns the licensing is not going to get on social media and say, look, he's breaking his contract. They're going to send a letter to his attorneys that say, look, tell Dave, if he keeps on doing this, we're going to be forced to take legal action. We're going to sue him, and we're going to seek damages. And and they'll win. It may not look good for them, but they'll win. And Viacom, ultimately, Viacom doesn't have to win a lawsuit like that going public, but it's Viacom. They're one of the big five. I mean, ultimately, they don't care.
We'll see.
They don't care.
Dave Chappelle already got what he wanted. The show is not on Netflix. We'll see if that lawsuit comes.
Well, it's not on Netflix because he's an active Netflix partner, and Netflix didn't want to damage that active relationship. What Netflix should have done is talk to him before they made that licensing deal, so they didn't waste everyone's time and money.
You already said that. Keep the show going forward. We've already covered that. You agree with the partners. I agree with Dave Chappelle. Let's move on to the next subject. Can we?
We can, but I will say I don't wholly disagree with either side. I think both sides are right and both sides are wrong. I think that Dave Chappelle should have realized the value of his work while he was in the process of that and renegotiated his contract while he had the opportunity and not just dipped out. He should have, when he went back and renegotiated his contract to do more shows, what he should have said is, yes, I will make more shows. I will make more episodes, but I also want rights to my show. I want to own it. I want to own a percentage of the rights to my show not just moving forward, but all of it. That way he could have, like, he may have said, okay, yeah, you guys are willing to give me $40-50 million cash. I want 25 million cash, and I want 12% or 15% rights stake in my show. That way he will be able to get all that money moving forward into perpetuity.
Maybe he didn't know during the time, but he exercised what legal muscle he had now.
Well,
and it got taken down.
Come on, man. If he was making that kind of money, if he didn't know, he doesn't need to be mad at Viacom. He needs to be mad at his lawyers and his agents and his business managers. Those are things that they should know. Those are contract points that they should know and should have insisted upon were in there.
Maybe they didn't know. And let's just for the sake
How
of
could they
whatever
not
saying,
know? That's their job to know.
Let's just say it for the sake that they did know. Let's say that they did know, and he's still unhappy that they licensed it to somebody else. He did the only thing he could do to get his point across, and it worked. Simple as that. It worked. It's not on Netflix. It's off. So what he did legally, and I guess we'll find out in the future, he flexed his muscle and he got what he wanted. He didn't get the money, but he got a show pool. So moving right along. Who was next? Next on this list, we've got, yo boy, Ladarius L. Jackson.
Ladarius!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of stuff I don't like to get into, but it sells tickets. Sorry.
It's that bad, huh?
It sells tickets, man. I don't like to get into these things. It sells tickets. And this is, Larry, this one is very, very subjective. Y'all know that lady on the left-hand side? That's Lisa Raye. She was famous for Players Club. Well, Larry, guess what she came out of her mouth and said on her TV show that she does with some 90s Vivica Fox, the Cocktail Queen. She said the rumor that she heard is that Halle Berry can't work the middle in the bedroom, that her bedroom game sucks. That's why she can't keep a man. That's what she heard. Now, Larry, I'm going to say this. There's no real deal way anyone can be objective about somebody's bedroom skills unless they've been in the bedroom with you. So unless Lisa Raye is trying to tell us that she's had sex with Halle Berry, she can't speak to some other man telling her that it's bad. You know why, Larry? Because one man's trash is another man's treasure. So for every 3 men that say her box is trash, her bed game is horrible, I guarantee you there's 5 Negroes she slept with that will tell you the opposite. Larry, is Lisa Raye inbounds, out of bounds to say this about Halle Berry?
I mean, let's just be real.
Be real.
Let's just be real.
Be real. Halle
Berry's name should not be anywhere in Lisa Raye's mouth, period.
Ooh.
She has no, she is so far, Halle Berry is so far above what Lisa Raye will ever be. She should not mention that woman's name. She shouldn't even have the audacity to comment on her. I mean, it's ridiculous. And let's be real. I mean, there are a lot of women out there, I'm sure, that are fantastic in bed because they have to be, like Lisa Raye. When you're not as talented and you want to get the things that you want to get, maybe that's your only option, is to be a stone cold super freak that's great in bed. When you're Halle Berry and you're rich and you act and you have become the standard of beauty in this country for the better parts of 3 decades, and you're an Oscar winner, you don't have to worry about, if you're a super freak. Mm-hmm. That's just basically what it is. I mean, Lisa Raye needs to be real too. I mean, she's talking about she can't keep a man. It's not like Lisa Raye is in some 30-year marriage where she's been out there just keeping the same man. She's basically been through a string of dudes too. So, and when you look at the two of them side by side, they're like a year apart, and Lisa Raye looks like she's 65.
Yeah, Larry, I mean, some of that could be hating. Halle Berry is in a new relationship with an R&B singer. It could be hating. It could be sour grapes. Maybe she reached out to Halle. Who knows what it is? I mean, me personally, that unless I've been in the bed with the person, that's not something I'm going to say about nobody, because like I said, it's subjective to the individuals. So, you know, it could, like I said, it could be 50 that say they hate Halle Berry, and then it could be like 40, 60 that say they love her. You know, whoever Lisa's been talking to have just been the type of cats that claim she's horrible. And it makes you wonder, did she sleep with these dudes that are claiming Halle Berry is terrible in bed?
I mean, who knows? Maybe Lisa Raye went behind and went behind everybody that Halle Berry's ever been with. Maybe that's her thing, is to go behind Halle Berry.
Could be.
I don't know. All I know is Halle Berry doesn't need to worry about her. Yeah, she need to worry. I mean, let's be real. Here's the thing: Lisa Raye has depended upon gimmicks her whole career.
Oh,
she still does her whole gimmicks. Her whole thing about I only wear white, and she's always wearing white. I mean, that is nothing more than a sideshow gimmick. You want to know what Halle Berry's gimmick is? She can act. That's what her gimmick is. She can act. So now you want to know what Halle Berry's thing is? Oh, well, we could put her in this role, and she's gonna act the shit out of it, and she's gonna draw. I don't know if somebody says Lisa Raye's in this new movie, you think anybody's going to see that damn movie because Lisa Raye is in it? No. Lisa Raye? I'm about to go Allen Iverson. Lisa Raye? Lisa Raye? We're not talking about Halle Berry. We're talking about Lisa Raye.
Well, I mean,
seriously, no one's going to see a movie because of Lisa Raye. But you say Halle Berry's in a movie, people are going to see that movie just for her.
At the end of the day,
Lisa Raye needs to keep Halle Berry out her mouth.
You know what should have been in Lisa Raye's mouth?
Probably one of these jump offs.
Halle Berry's Oscar should have been in Lisa Raye's mouth, because that's about the only thing you need to be sniffing and saying about Halle Berry. So, you know,
man. Come on, man. She needs to be, and you know, it's one of those things. Lisa Raye has always been. I've met Lisa Raye a few times. I've worked on a music video set that she was on, and she's always been sort of snooty, like she thinks she's big shit. And I'm like, man, I was like, come on, chick. I was like, you were a video vixen who sort of parlayed into a half acting career because you were willing to get naked on the pole with the Players Club. Hey, but let's just be real. It's not like you're a great actor.
Be careful, Larry, because we got some P Valley fans listening to you. Be careful. Some of them girls on that pole, but they can act.
Yeah, but let's be real. The P Valley girls, they may strip, but they're also fantastic actors, most of them.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're most of them fantastic actors. And this is the thing for, like, when I see someone like Lisa Raye. Lisa Raye came out when she was younger. She was out there when she was probably, 25 or 30 when she was out there, when she first started to come out. She's had ample time to take her acting craft seriously, and she has not. When I look at her today, when she's on a program, a TV show, she has not gotten any better from the day she first stepped on the screen till today. She has not taken ample opportunity to get better at her craft, and it shows. It seems like she has a sense of arrogance to her, like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm me. You should want me because I'm me. Instead of, how about you go and get great at your craft, and then we'll want to hire you because you're a great actor. Yeah. I mean, you being you should be a bonus. Halle Berry, they should want Halle Berry because they know Halle Berry's going to bring people and put butts in the seats, but they also want her to play that role because they know Halle Berry can act the crap out of that role.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't said nothing slick on that one. So, Lisa Raye, if you want to talk about Halle, stick her Oscar in your mouth, and we're going to move right on along with it.
Don't even do that. You're not even worthy to touch her Oscar.
Lisa Raye, the man said that you so dirty, you might give the Oscar COVID. Damn, boy.
I didn't say all that.
He said it, not me.
I didn't say all that.
He said it, not me.
I just said, acting-wise, you're not worthy of touching her Oscar. Leave it be.
Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on. If you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe. This one is all about the stock market and some hot stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. Y'all think Tesla is hot. Larry, I got something that's even hotter than Tesla. Can you guess what it is?
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and the things you can do around Bitcoin if you can't afford one. But before we get to Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, I got to talk about this company that I mentioned last week when it was $12. No, I'm talking about Palantir, ladies and gentlemen.
They're going up again. They keep on climbing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my account. I bought some more shares yesterday. And in just one day today, ladies and gentlemen, I took this screen share at about noon. Just today, I made $400 with this stock creeping the hell up. My average cost is $15.52. The stock made it today by the end, ladies and gentlemen, $29. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you're doing if you haven't decided to take a look at Palantir. Because this stock is going nuts. And this is what they do. They are a holdings company that engages in software solutions for the government and other commercial businesses. And one reason why they're taking off so good, ladies and gentlemen, is because when they came on IPO a couple of months ago, they didn't do none of that bull jive where they let the private investors get this early rate that's cheaper than what the retail investor can get. They came in, everybody had to pay. They dropped at like $9. Everybody paid $9. It went down a little bit. And then when they finished signing this last contract with the government, it fortified them for a decade. And they don't even they're not even fans with the Trump administration. They're more in line with Biden and people who are kind of centrist and lean left. So Larry,
well, they signed that contract under the Obama administration,
and they just signed another one under the Trump administration, and that's why I said they are kind of moderate to left leaning, but they still got another contract under the Trump administration that they signed 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
What's holding you back, Larry? I can easily see this stock right now. It's at $26, ladies and gentlemen. When me and Larry make predictions on this channel, they happen. Easily by next year.
I should have bought it when I saw it at like 18, and then I should have bought it again when I saw it at 21 and then 24. I think I might pick some up on Monday.
It's not too late, ladies and gentlemen. I think by next year
Friday.
By next year at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I think this stock could easily be $180. Next Christmas, we could see that stock 180. If you want to get in on something that has good numbers, great projections, longevity, and it's fresh, it's relatively fresh, this is a stock for you, ladies and gentlemen. Ground floor, time to jump on it. And my man Larry said he's going to commit Friday when the markets open back up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get some of that. I was holding off, and now I feel bad because now I'm gonna have to pay more than I wanted to. When I almost bought it the other day, it was at 22, and I should have just pulled the trigger and bought some then, and I didn't. And if I had, I would have been really happy right now.
Hey, it's never too late, ladies and gentlemen. Stock is Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. Get you some while the stock is still relatively cheap compared to its price over earnings. Next big thing that everybody wants to know and has asked me about in the past and is asking me about now is this crazy thing right here. Larry, that's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I wouldn't give Bitcoin any credence because it's not widely recognized. It's not uniformly recognized. Everybody's not using it around the world. Well, that was 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. There was a time Bitcoin went from 6 grand to 12, and that's when it was in the news really hot. Well, let me show you what it's done this week. So I got this from today. Now take a look at what it was this time last week. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing just it just goes bonkers. Last week, it gained $6,000. Now you might be saying, what's been creating the bump in Bitcoin? Okay, there's two things that have created the bump in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Some of your major investment houses that do institutional investing are buying Bitcoin and they're giving it more credence because My argument 2 years ago was it's not readily used everywhere. More places, ladies and gentlemen, are now accepting Bitcoin. More financial apparatuses are using Bitcoin. Cash App, PayPal, Robinhood. And Robinhood just signed up this year alone 15 million new investors that all have access to Bitcoin, which has caused these institutional investors to take it seriously. So I'm starting to believe in Bitcoin right now. It keeps growing. But it's saying all that, Larry, what I want people to understand is this. You might not be able to afford $19,000. Hell, it ain't but so many people that can do that. But what BitChain is built on, ladies and gentlemen, is something called blockchain technology. And if you want the real definition of blockchain technology, there are your key takeaways. Basically, it's a typical database in which it shares information. Blockchain store the data on blocks that are then chained together. And you can read up on it a little more. That is also how they mine Bitcoin. But the practical application for blockchain technology is boundless, ladies and gentlemen. And all that was set up to say this. Get you some Riot. Riot is a blockchain company that not only do they do the blockchain in the cloud, but they also mine cryptocurrencies. And as you can see, they have been going up while cryptos are going up. So if you want to be invested in two ways, you're investing in the growth of cryptocurrency and you're also investing in the growth of blockchain. Get Riot. It's only $7.29. And in the last week, it has gone up 20%. And there's no stopping that one either. So now I ask you, Larry, what's holding you back from getting you some Riot?
I'll tell you, I mean, I may get some Riot. I almost did this. I almost did on Monday, but I didn't. I just, the whole crypto thing, I don't understand cryptocurrency. I don't understand Bitcoin. I don't understand the whole thing about mining for Bitcoin. I don't understand what the currency is weighted on. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and I don't like to buy stuff and buy into stuff that I don't understand. And every time I try and get people to explain it to me, right, I get people who are very excited about Bitcoin, and they go on about it. Oh, it's the future, it's this and that. And I'm saying, okay, I get you're saying that, but you haven't answered my question about what is it? How is the currency weighted? Like, I know that some countries' currency is weighted on the gold standard. If you have $300 trillion worth of gold, well, when you have your dollar bill, it's a percentage of the gold that country is holding. If you have a Federal Reserve system like we do, and our money is based on nothing and it's all fiat currency, then I know that it's based on nothing. But really what our currency is based on is the faith in the currency. That's really what it is. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand cryptocurrencies. I don't understand blockchain. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how, where the money comes from, how it's valued. I don't understand why it goes from 6,000 to 19,000. I don't understand any of it, and I've yet to have anybody explain it to me. So until I get a good explanation of what the hell the currency is and what it does and how it's about, I'm not touching it. And that may mean that I'm going to lose a lot of money, but I don't trust what I can't understand.
Well, so before let me just read this to you. And they're talking about the use of blockchain. In Bitcoin's case, blockchain is used in a decentralized way so that no single person or group has control. Rather, all users collectively retain control. Decentralized blockchains are immutable, which means that the data entered is irreversible. For Bitcoin, that means that transactions are permanently recorded and viewable to anyone. So let me put it to you like this. The reason why I picked Riot was because I have a lot of people who feel like you, Larry, and I'm not saying you're old school, but I'm saying a lot of people that follow me are old school investors. And basically your argument was what I was saying 2 years ago, and I'm still not saying jump on Bitcoin yet. I'm saying Bitcoin is speculative. But what I
Right.
am saying is practical is the blockchain technology. That's not just, you don't just use that with Bitcoin. That can be used in science, that can be used in hospitals, that can be used in data centers, that can be used in the cloud. So that's why I say invest in Riot, because the risk is very low and the rewards are two-pronged. You're also basically investing in the growth of cryptocurrency, but you're primarily investing in the growth of blockchain technology. So that's why I said get Riot. You get the best of both worlds without leveraging too much money.
Right. Well,
So
I'll think about it and see what it's in. And I mean, I may just grab some shares of Riot. I mean, I'll just be, I don't know, man. I look at that right there. I see they have 6 employees,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
What's their market cap? 300 something $million. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, you know, you would expect a small cap company. Well, they're not even small; they're mid cap. You would expect a mid cap or small cap to only have, you know, maybe 400 or 500 million. I mean, that's standard for small and mid caps. But I'm just saying, you like to take risk on the smaller stocks and their growth. There you go.
I do, but here's the thing. I like to take risk on things that I understand. Like I took a risk, I bought Marathon Oil, right?
Right.
Because I think there's going to be a big boom in some of the traditional energies sectors that are coming. I think that, I mean, yes, all the stuff with EV cars and everything is going. I think that's all fantastic. But guess what? The world still runs on oil. It just does. Planes run on oil. Trains, for a large part, run on oil. You have ships run on oil. You have all that stuff where people are still running. And when you have to start shipping around, when you have to start shipping, you know, 3 or 8, how many ever billion doses of a vaccine over the next 1 to 36 months, that's a lot of oil people are going to need to burn. Mm-hmm. Not only because they're going to have to burn it to get it to where it needs to go, they're going to have fuel to refrigerate all that stuff. They're going to have people going back to work. I think oil is going to do well over the next several months to the next couple of years. And so I'm willing to take risk on stuff like that I understand. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Like, I'm okay with taking a risk. Like if someone I bought a company that makes jet fuel. I'm okay with that. It's like I bought it. It's taking a little hit. The stock value has gone down. I bought it just the absolute wrong time. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to hold on it and wait because I think it's going to go back up. But I understand that. I understand this company makes this product. They sell it to these types of companies. I get that. I don't understand blockchain. I don't understand crypto. I need to understand it before I'm buying it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that want to be risky and you don't understand it, or for those of you like me who understand the blockchain and believe in that more than crypto, Riot is a place for you guys to invest $7 a share before you run out here and you get in any of the cryptos and invest, thousands of dollars. Give Riot a try.
Buy Candy. If you want to invest in something, buy Candy. Candy actually makes a product. They actually make something. They create something. They put something out that you can actually buy and put your hands on, and it's easy to understand. It's a car company. They're making low-cost electric vehicles that have been approved to be on the roads in California. And people, as you know what they say, as California goes, so does the country. And the reason for that is because California has some of the most stringent regulations in the country. And so if a car qualifies to be on the road in California, it also qualifies to be on the road pretty much in all the other 49 states. So if Candy, and that's why a lot of companies, when they go to try and get approved to be on the road, the first place they go is California, because you don't want to go and get approval to be on the road in Idaho. And then you think you're good to go. You go into mass production and find out you can't put your cars anywhere else. So Candy, check them out. KDNY.
Yep. Check them out. And for my crypto fans out there, I see where you're going. The more you guys become accepted in more places for spending, and the more you get on other apps besides Robinhood, Cash App, PayPal, and the more that these investment institutions come out saying they're investing in crypto, your Phoenix is going to continue to rise. And I'm going to be eyeballing it. But for now, I'd rather go with the company. Yeah, go for it.
Let me ask you this. What happens? What happens when the U.S. government simply says at some point, nope, we're blocking all use of cryptocurrency because it has been deemed a threat to national security? If we happen to go to war someplace and all of a sudden you have people that are in Afghanistan or Georgia or Russia or Iraq or wherever some foe is, North Korea, and they're using crypto to buy all the arms and all the stuff that they need to wage war. What happens when the U.S. government simply says, we are no longer allowing any institution in this country to deal with cryptocurrency, and we are not allowing anybody who deals in cryptocurrency to deal with the American government? Then what do you do?
You're still going to have people.
They've done it before. They've done stuff like this before.
You're still going to have people investing in it. And in my case, Riot, like I said, they mine it, but that's not the only thing they do it. That's not the only thing they deal in. That's just a part of their business, which is why I like companies that have diversification. Riot's main goal is the solidification of blockchain technology, which is a facet that allows to build and mine cryptos. So crypto goes up, they go up. Companies continue using blockchain technology, they go up. So I'm gonna be fine.
Okay, I'm not knocking you for it. I just honestly, I really want someone to explain the technology behind it. I want them to explain the currency and what it's based off of and how it's valued. I want that. I really want some firm explanations on this so that I can understand it and I can feel comfortable saying, yeah, I can see buying a company like that, because even if I'm not comfortable buying, parts of a Bitcoin, at least I can feel company maybe buying some of the stock of a company that mines it or does blockchain. But I need to understand the technology behind it.
Well, for me, I'm not buying a crypto yet because it's still relatively speculative in my opinion. So that's why I'm investing in Riot. I'm trying to get the best of both worlds. Blockchain technology is not going anywhere. That's going to keep growing. Cryptocurrency is kind of where the question mark is at, even though more people are starting to accept it. I just like to be diversified. So I'm riding with the technology more so than I am cryptos. And that's why I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be able to be a part of the cryptos without fully having your full body in the water, because them waters can get murky and cold, just dip your toe in Riot, and then you get the best of both worlds. So, Larry, I got a program note for you, and then we'll end on this. And I can't wait for this.
Did we get through all the numbers?
Yeah, we got through all the numbers.
Oh.
Guess what's no, actually we didn't, but I'm not going to do the last. The last one was about politics, and I ain't got enough time for that.
What?
So the last one was about politics. Yeah. The last one was, how people always, the basic, I'm not even going to talk about it. We can do it on Friday because it's
just
not.
Tell us what it is.
I'll show you the picture of these chicks. Do you know what these young ladies call themselves?
The Squad. Well, they don't. I think everybody else did, and then they just took and ran with it.
Yeah, just like they tried to make Obamacare a pejorative against Obama, and in traditional Black people form, we take a negative and we make it a positive. Need I say more? Yep. So long story short, the guy that Biden nominated in one of the budget positions, they're just like hell to the no on this guy because he's a budget hawk, and they want someone who's more in the progressive wing of the Democratic Party to be in a position of controlling the money. And we can just go in depth about it Friday because it does need to be looked at. I kind of agree with them on this one, but at the same time, I think all of that really depends on what happens in Georgia. So I'm gonna leave it there. We'll come back to it on Friday. But
can we talk a little bit about Thanksgiving here? I know we see some people in the comment section talking about what they're cooking and whatnot. So I'm curious, what are you gonna have for Thanksgiving?
Well, first and foremost, the point I've been trying to get across is Shameless comes back on December 6th. Are you down?
That's gonna be Man.
Season
We're
11.
gonna have Shameless and we're gonna have Power.
Yeah.
Woo.
And I'm definitely down for doing reviews of Shameless. Definitely on it. But in terms of Thanksgiving, Crystal and her mother are here, been spending time working with me and the baby, helping us get on a better schedule, helping us recuperate. And she's in that kitchen scratching and mixing right now. I mean, North Carolina ain't smelt this good since people left on the Trail of Tears killing wild buffalo. Damn it smells good in my kitchen. It ain't never smelled this good in this house. And her mama went in there, whipped up ribs, whipped up sweet potato pies, whipping up some turkey, whipping up some stuffing. Hell, she's like, you too old to be talking about cuts for the sluts. So
she's talking about guts for the butt.
Yeah, man. Guts for the wife is what it's about to be.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, man, when I tell you it smells good in this house, bruh, telling you, boy. Woo! What about you?
Fantastic, man.
What's going down with your family? Ain't you and your wife traveling?
No, we were gonna try and go to Colorado, but my father-in-law, he's not real comfortable about us traveling right about now. We were trying to see if we can get out there. We originally had planned to go get COVID tested and then quarantine so that we can go out there, but that all kind of fell through. So we'll see. We're still trying to work it out maybe for Christmas, but at the same time, he's sort of like, look, the vaccine looks like it's going to be a few months away. Let's not risk it. Let's just wait and wait till everyone's vaccinated and then hopefully get together in the spring or summertime. So we may have to just wait it out for both the holidays. But yeah, I was looking forward to kind of heading out there because I was like, well, I told my wife, I said, if we go, we can't go for like a weekend or a week. I was like, we should just go and not come back until after the new year. So, but I think we probably won't even go until sometime next year.
Yeah, I understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to be safe. We can't tell you enough that Thanos, the coronavirus, is still that looming threat in the background amongst all the other things we're dealing with in this country. You potentially have a president threatening to go to war in the Middle East, just leaving shit on the table for Biden to have to clean up. So I want you guys to, I really would like to see you guys not do a big gathering. Keep it small. But if you're gonna do it, wear a mask. In North Carolina, we're about to get a red alert because we've got 7 counties who are spiking COVID over 25%. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these are predominantly Republican counties.
Right.
You go figure. The places where we're seeing the biggest spikes in America are where? Republican states. You go figure. So wear your mask, ladies and gentlemen. We all want to get this thing behind us. And just because they said they have a vaccine does not give you a license to just think, oh, the hell with it, no mask, no social distancing, no washing hands. Because even when the vaccine starts getting dispersed, it's still going to take time for most people to get it. And then we're still going to have people, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to be like, I ain't taking no damn vaccine. What the hell I need with a vaccine for? My cousin was Robert E. Lee. Do he look like he took any damn vaccines? He ain't have no teeth either, but I see you smiling. So
well, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, with a video appointment with my doctor, and apparently my doctor, my personal doctor, is a big deal now. So he told me that he was named one of the top doctors here in DC, and as a result, he had had a conversation with Anthony Fauci. I guess he and Anthony Fauci had a Zoom call the other day, and so I guess they were talking about the vaccine, the efficacy rates, and the distribution plan. And he said, I guess what the plan is that they're going to vaccinate all the very high risk people first, as we already knew, like the people that are like old, people that work in old folks' homes, and they're going to vaccinate all the people that are like the front line up front of the front line
Hospitals.
people,
Yeah.
all the people that are working as doctors and nurses in hospitals. Basically, anybody who works in a hospital setting is going to be in that first wave of people getting the vaccine.
Right.
The second wave is going to be people that are
public
there are
service.
people that are doctors, that are like clinical doctors, people that like my doctor is a doctor, but he doesn't work in a hospital. He's a clinician. He works in a clinic, or like now he does video calls. And other people who have elevated risk, like people who have asthma and diabetes and stuff, they'll be in the second wave. And then people that are younger and more healthy will be in the third wave. And apparently, if you've already had COVID, you're going to be pretty much the bottom of the line because you will already have some natural antibodies. So you're going to be basically the last ones that will need to be and will get vaccinated. So,
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the day. Be thankful. Enjoy your family. Talk to your family. Eat real good and squad back up with us on Friday night, where we tend to get a little wild and we tend to have guests on Friday. I'm not saying we're going to have one this week, but we probably will. So until that next Sexy as Hell video, be safe, mask up, and we'll see you then.
Peace.